Welcome to your energy forecast for the week ahead, for the week of February 23rd. I'm here in beautiful Sedona. Hopefully you can see that. I wanted to do this actually in the Red Rocks, and it's so quiet out here, so I made sure to find a space where I would not be bothering anyone. There is no one around anyway, but I still want to respect nature and people's hikes, so I just found like this little nook, and it's so beautiful. I'll show you. Okay, so let's get into the messages. I'm going to talk about during the week's energy and like the channel messages that I get, but I'm also at the end going to pull a card, and I'm also going to do a message from the land as well. Okay, so first let's talk about astrologically the things that are happening this week. On February 23rd, Mars is finally ending its retrograde cycle. It was retrograde from December 7th, so it's been like 79, 80 days, something like that, and it's finally going direct. And another really cool thing is that starting on the 23rd, just until the 28th, all of the planets will be direct. So this usually means like forward movement, momentum, because all of the planets are going direct, which is like kind of rare, but it is only happening for 4 days, because once we get to March 1st, Venus is going retrograde, and then on March 15th, Mercury is going retrograde. But just keep in mind that from the 23rd until the end of the month on the 28th, like really try to get things done and just see what different areas of your life things start picking up momentum. Like, I'm not going to say that everything is going to move forward for you and like everything that you're waiting on is going to happen, because it is only a 4-day span, but just know that there will be like some sort of forward movement, and just keep note. And then also too, if you know where Mars is in your chart, definitely look at that house, because you will probably see more movement in that house as well. So the other thing to note astrologically this week is that the new moon is going to be on February 27th, and that is the new moon in Pisces. So you can look to see where you have Pisces in your chart and just know that there will be a new cycle in that area. And usually it is like a 6-month. So from each new moon cycle, there's a 6-month cycle until the full moon in that sign. So for Pisces, so from February 27th until 6 months later when it's the Pisces full moon, just know that there will be a 6-month cycle of something new. So again, look to that house in your chart and see where that is. And if you have any questions, like, I'm happy to help you in my sessions. We can look into that. That is something I do. Okay, so let me just take a deep breath and connect with spirit and my guides, and let's see what is coming through for the week ahead. Already as I'm starting this, the wind, as you can see, is starting to pick up. I feel like spirit is like, yes. And with that wind, what I'm feeling is, oh, look at all the wind now. It's literally been completely still this whole time. So to me, what I'm hearing is there is going to be movement, and like rapid movement at that. And just notice that things that were, like, again, it's just telling me things that were once stagnant are really picking up, and see how like the wind, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's, oh, actually it just flew, a card flew out. Okay, the next thing I'm hearing is to be decisive this week. With things picking up and the momentum coming, there might be some decisive action that you need to take, and so really be discerning. That's another thing that's coming up. So be discerning with your actions and the things that you decide to do. Oh my god, this is so crazy that the wind is now so crazy. Okay, and then the other thing that I'm hearing is you're finally getting the call. So I don't know if you were waiting on a call back from something or someone, but it does seem like, all right, or this could actually even be like a calling from your higher self. Maybe you get a download or receive some sort of information, and this is happening more like between Tuesday and Thursday, so keep that in mind. Okay, the next thing that they're telling me is this week is kind of like an ending of a cycle and kind of like a changing of the guards. So just know that things will be like dying off this week. I don't mean like actual people, but just know that if things are being released or ending, or something isn't working out, or people are walking away, or you need to walk away from something, just definitely trust that, because the energetic year is coming to an end, and the astrological year, and with that, there has to be chapters closing out. And so what I'm hearing is that there are going to be like huge closeouts this week, but to just really trust that it is divinely guided and meant to be. And I feel like for some of you, you might be like feeling stubborn about it, like, no, I really don't want to let go of this, want to keep this going, and like maybe it doesn't make sense to you that something needs to end, or that you have to walk away from something, or that someone has to walk away from you, or that some sort of energy has to be transmuted. But what I'm hearing is just trust it, because even though you might not be able to see the purpose now, you will, like, it will be revealed later, and it'll make so much sense, and you'll be like, oh my God, like, thank God that did happen. So I know that for some of you right now, you're like, no, I can't imagine my life like with this happening, but please just know that this is for a much, much, much better reason, and a lot more, like so many things that are way better are going to be coming in to replace what is going out. And that always is what happens. Just know that, you know, it's always like out with the old, in with the new. And so that's what I'm hearing, is like this week is like a purge. So the more we can clear out, okay, think of it this way, they're saying, like, you actually want to clear things out, because the more you clear things out, the more new things can come in. And it's like, they're showing me that there's all of these new things like waiting behind closed doors for you. And it's like some of us are at like full capacity, that we can't even let these new opportunities in yet. And that's why this week is coming up, to like have that final clear out. Okay, another thing to mention is that with Venus retrograde, we're going to be reviewing all of the rewords, reviewing, revisiting, remembering, reflecting on things that we love, that we value, you know, money, relationships. And so since that is starting on March 1st, this week, we are going to be seeing a preview of different themes that are coming up with what it's going to go back over and bring up for us. So they're just telling me to keep in mind and to take note of what kind of themes, like Venusian themes, come up in your life this week. So maybe you're like, oh, I really loved this material item, and like I thought I needed to have it and spend all this money on it, but now maybe you're all of a sudden starting to have like a feeling of like, maybe it wasn't worth it, or like maybe this isn't what I want anymore. And the same can go for a relationship. Like maybe you just got into a new relationship, or even if it's a relationship that you've already had, like maybe you're like, I don't know, this might be not what I wanted anymore. This can even be like when it comes to self-love, like maybe you had a certain like ritual or routine or different like ways that you found pleasure or took care of yourself, and now you're like, okay, I think that this needs to change. Like maybe you want to up level that, or maybe you don't think you're doing as much as you can, you know, maybe you're not being as nice to yourself, or you need to incorporate more self-love and self-care. So just take note this week and just really see what comes up and honor that, and know that we're going to be reflecting on that deeper once March 1st comes. Okay, the next thing that they're showing me are like the different plants that are around me that I know that you can make certain things from. And so they're telling me for you to ask yourself, like, what is currently in your life that you can make opportunities out of? Like, I think that some of you, and me too, that some of us are overlooking some sort of opportunities that we have right now. And like maybe we're thinking like, no, like this hasn't come to fruition yet, or I'm not manifesting this yet. But they're saying like, look around, because there actually are certain things in your life that are in front of you, and that like are actual really good opportunities, that, or it's something that you can turn into opportunities, and you just haven't, like they're just overlooked. So if you just can take the time to look around, I think there's like some hidden gems and something that's just like really waiting to be explored that will be like really successful for you. Okay, and then lastly, like they're showing me how the sky is so blue right now. There's like literally not one cloud in it, and they're saying that this is reflective of this week. Like everything is being not only cleared out, like I mentioned before, but everything is becoming clear. So like there's no clouds, like nothing is blocking your intuition or your mind or your subconscious. Like everything is coming to the surface, and everything is crystal clear. So just know that you're going to have like so much clarity this week, and the energy is supporting clarity. So if you want to do more meditations, or, you know, connect with your intuition even deeper to get some downloads, like this is the week to do that. Okay, now I want to pull a card just for this week, just to see what the theme is from Spirit. So let me just put this down. decided to bring my regular tarot deck with me. I have a bunch of them at home. Well, home, I'm traveling, but this is the one that came with me today. Okay, so let's see, Spirit, what is the theme for this week for us to focus on that we need to know? Okay. So we got Temperance, and to me, this card is the card of emotional balance, and yeah, just everything kind of balancing out. And I feel like that makes sense to what they were saying before with how there was going to be clarity and downloads coming in and out with the old and with the new, and then we have to release everything. Also, this other message that I'm getting is this person is out in nature. So if you can spend more time this week in water or around people with water signs, that would be very supportive for you. And I'm also hearing, again, going back to when I was saying earlier about being discerning, because they are pouring with the cups. It's like I'm hearing, like, what are you pouring yourself, like, what are you pouring into? Like, really reflect this week and be like, okay, is this worth my time? Is that worth my time? And when I say worth your time, because this card has to do with emotions, think about emotionally, like, is this a good emotional investment for me? Are these people good for me emotionally? Is, like, this job emotionally good for me? Are these habits emotionally good for me? Really look at those themes and see how you could release any of them, because again, we are closing out the energetic and astrological new year and coming into a brand new start, and so you really want to let go and clear all of those things out before we start something new, so that we can hit the ground running and just go in with, like, so much ease, so much energy, so much light. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens this week. So let me know in the comments if this resonates for you after this week, and next week I will be back with more energy updates.